Welcome to the LANCave, where we're living as nerds. I'm Patrick, joined by Owen.
JRPG.
Yeah, if you like JRPGs, then this Nintendo Direct may have been for you.
I think it was. Day.
Yeah, you definitely having a good day. Very good day. This is the day of the Nintendo Direct, which I don't think they announced it before. What, yesterday, the day before, where they were just like, "Hey, we're doing
Monday, I think."
Monday, yeah. A Nintendo Direct just happened February 9th. I thought it was pretty good. It didn't have what I was hoping it would have, but it had some goodness. So I'm not mad. I'm not sad. We talk about games and stuff, by the way.
I was more excited by things than I wasn't excited by, so I'll say that much. But I was ultimately disappointed by the ending, and I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But it had a good ebb and flow. There was a couple times like the starter game, and I was like, ah! And then I was like, oh, okay, and then I was like, what? And so there was several moments of just those flows. I was like, wait, they're gonna get that to run on the Switch? So we'll talk about that in a second.
I was surprised by some of them. I have my reservations about some of them.
Absolutely. there was me holding back my language there on our clean podcast, because that's one of my favorite things about our podcast, is that we do run a clean podcast here, so you can listen to us with your kids around without fear.
We think that's important. Family time, talk about games.
Absolutely. I was very shocked that they're getting that game to run on the Switch.
Because we think that, what we represent here. If you haven't hung out with us before, we're adults with jobs and families and stuff, and like gaming is a part of that, part of our lives, even though we're not in our teens and such. So enjoy that. Share it with your kids. And speaking of sharing with the kids, because we just got news of this, but Obi Wan May 25th. I knew it was coming, but yeah.
Have you watched the finale yet, by the way? So I have not watched it. Have you watched
I woke up this morning. I woke up early this morning and watched it. Yeah.
Okay. I have not. That is immediately forthcoming after this podcast.
Yeah.
I've already heard some mixed reviews, so we'll see.
I enjoyed it. I feel like, much like I felt like this about I think Mando as well. Looking back on like first season of Mando, I was like, oh, this was good. Like there were some moments in there I'm like, I don't really know what I'm getting at. Overall, it was good. I liked what they did. There were lots of rumors online of how it was going to end. None of it was right. It was just fan speculation, and
Okay, I'll say this. So two things, two big things. One, I hate the title for this miniseries. It's a stupid title.
Yeah.
This title doesn't make any sense. It has.
We're talking about Book of Boba Fett, by the way, not Obi-Wan. We're just talking about Star Wars.
Clear. Sorry, by the way. Yeah. So Book of Boba Fett finale was today, February 9th. And I have not watched it yet, and Patrick has. But in watching this series, which part of it I've enjoyed, part of it I've criticized heavily, but the biggest criticism I absolutely have is the title of this show, Book of Boba Fett. This is without going into spoilers on what happens. But when I can say that this show should not have been called the Book of Boba Fett, you can read into that what you will. It should not have been called Book of Boba Fett. It could have been called so many other things, but Book of Boba Fett was the wrong title. And based on what I'm hearing on the mixed reviews that I've heard so far of the finale, that still rings true in the finale. Yeah. And that's okay. I'll probably have more to say about it next week in a little bit more reflection. But the second that I saw this Obi Wan trailer, or not trailer, poster, it's not even a trailer, it's just a poster. Let's go. Like,
I zoomed in on it, by the way.
This has been years coming. Ewan McGregor, I know, has wanted to do this forever, dude. Let's absolutely go. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the second point that I was going to make. I'm really tired of watching Star Wars fans being like, all right, they're going to retcon the sequels. I'm like, no, they're not. Like, Disney made those sequels. Do you think they're just all of a sudden just going to change them?
Not milk them for more money?
Well, I mean, I get that maybe like they think
Oops.
that like Filoni and Favreau maybe don't like the sequels, and I don't know what Filoni and Favreau's opinions are of the sequels. But I was like, Disney literally just made this. They literally just invested hundreds of millions of dollars into those sequels. And they're like, maybe they'll do a split timeline. I'm like, does this look like Star Trek to you? Is this where you run out of stories to tell? And so you're just like, oh, we're just going to, because we don't want to create new characters, we're going to reuse like Kirk and Picard again because we split the timeline. Is that what you think is that what you think is going to happen? Because that's not what's going to happen, because I don't know, even though it's clear that Disney is going to milk Star Wars for all they can, because we're having a lot of content coming over the next couple of years. At the same time, I still feel like they do at least have a little respect. They don't have a lot of respect.
Yeah. No,
but they have a little, and they've picked some people who do have a lot of respect. Filoni does have a lot of respect. Favreau does have a lot of respect. But they're not going to just get rid of it. And people are taking that by watching the last couple episodes of Book of Boba Fett. I think that is an interesting thought process, but it doesn't make any sense to me how people can honestly think like they're gonna change it, they're gonna retcon it. It's like, no, they're really not.
They're making so much money. Sorry, I'm like zooming in a little bit because like
you've been messing with it the entire time I was talking.
But I agree though, because they're gonna make money off of it first of all. And there are people who like I've been guilty of it, and I still. The original trilogy is the best. I mean, we know that. The prequels, I think that's objective. I'm sorry, but like the prequels aren't as good. I've had some comments about them, about things that I didn't like about the prequels. Looking back at it, I'm like, they weren't that bad. I actually liked them right when they first came out, and then I became part of that.
I still like them.
And I know you still like them. You've been a true believer the whole time. But but there's a big group of people called kids that watch these movies, and when they grow up, they're gonna look back and be like, man, I loved Obi Wan, and to them, Obi Wan is Ewan McGregor. Obi Wan, to me, when I think of Obi Wan, I think of old Ben, and then I think Alec Guinness, then I think of Ewan McGregor, because like that's how I grew up. Obi Wan until I was 15. Because 1999 was that. I was 15 when Ewan McGregor, when I first saw Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. He's still amazing, and I can't wait to see this. Yeah,
I cannot wait. I'm really wondering, and I'm going to go into slight spoiler territory for Star Wars Rebels, but it ended. Okay. Have you watched Star Wars Rebels?
I haven't, but you can spoil.
You haven't taken. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering if this miniseries leads into what we see in one of the later episodes of Sure Rebels
with Maul.
You sure
right?
Let me spoil it for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know a little bit. I mean, I know enough.
Okay.
It's been so long. I mean, it's like the Sixth Sense at this point,
All right. So if you're listening and you care about this, skip say like 120 seconds. But Maul finds out where Kenobi is. Maul did not know where Kenobi is for like, ever, which makes sense based on what happened to Maul at the end of episode 1. A lot of stuff happens to Maul between the end of episode 1 and what happens in Rebels. He finds out where Kenobi is, and he goes and faces Kenobi. I really want to know if that happens at the end of this series. If that happens, if they just
like we get the live action,
and there's a direct scene in Rebels. Kenobi is in Rebels for a very brief moment with Maul.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what happens in that scene for listening purposes, and you may even know, but I'm still, even if you're not even sure, but Maul and Kenobi meet on Tatooine. If that happens in the series, I'll blow my lid. I will I'll be absolutely, just imagine that, 20, so many years later, imagine if they get the same actor and everything,
Ray Park,
if they just get Ray and him in that same scene to end this little mini series, I think that would be absolutely perfect. I have no idea where they're going to go with this series. Maybe they even start with that. Maybe they start with what happens in Rebels, but I really hope that scene is in it. I cannot be more excited for this. Ewan McGregor is a perfect being, in my opinion. He's such a great actor. Even with just terrible scripts, he still made the best of it in the prequels.
Yeah, he's the best part.
He has that sparkle in his eyes. Like there's just so much about him that I love that I cannot wait. And you put on there that it should have been May the 4th, and I disagreed with you.
And I put that before I realized what May 25th was, and I'll admit.
Yeah.
So May 25th being the release date. May 25th, 1977 was the release date of A New Hope. So. Yeah. That's good. So that's good.
The circle is now complete. Obi Wan is the master.
And Filoni's connected to this one as well, because he's like, it's Favreau Filoni, isn't it?
I have to imagine, right?
I'm pretty sure he's like they're producing or executive producing. Now. Yeah, I think the two of them are basically tag teaming when it comes to producing, and they're the Feige of the Lucasfilm, if you will.
They didn't write it.
Yeah, but I think that they did like producing or executive producing, or
I'm sure they have to be involved in the lore.
I would imagine so, to get the cohesion. I mean, Filoni, like, and I will say I'm impressed by this. Like, of course, Lucas created all of this, but Lucas is an encyclopedia for Star Wars. Like, it's not like some writers. Bro. Yeah, well, like some writers, like when they write something and then fans ask them about something, and the writer's like, I didn't remember that character's name. It's Lucas's world. He remembers it. Filoni keeps up with him. Filoni, like, I think he understands the heart of Star Wars as a Star Wars fan and all that. Like, it works.
I was recently listening to a podcast, a gaming podcast. And even though we do a gaming show, I still also listen to people who are much more professional than Patrick and I. But where they were talking about the Star Wars games, that they were talking about how Disney is going to milk Star Wars for all it can worth, and they're actually like tired of it. And I wrote in to the podcast, and I was like, I've been a Star Wars fan for now 31 years.
Yeah.
I've been a Star Wars fan for 31 years, and not once have I ever been like, no, this is too much Star Wars for me. This is. There's other things. There's definitely other franchises that I have this for. I've been marveled out a little bit, even though I still continue to watch all the series that Disney Plus puts out. But I go into them with different critical eyes, and I still have that with Star Wars too. Even with Boba Fett, with this show, I've been very openly critical of this series. But I was like, you show me the next series, I'm still gonna be like, let's go, until you show me a trailer at least. And I'm like, oh well, I don't know. And he wrote back, and he was like, I'd be very curious to know what you think Star Wars is. And I haven't continued that dialect with this podcast person, but if I was to openly say, I think that Star Wars is the coolest universe ever. That's what I think. I think that there is no cooler a universe to me than the Star Wars universe, and that's why I can never get tired of it. I think that the Force is just mystique enough to where it's not infallible, it's not perfect, it's not like Superman-esque where a Jedi or a Sith or whoever is unbeatable, or and everything. And then I also think that just all the aliens are cool. There's just no instance where I get too much Star Wars, and until Obi-Wan sucks, I'm gonna expect it to be awesome.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
I don't think it can suck. When you said that their question was, what do you think? What do you think what is Star Wars to you, or what do you think Star Wars is? It reminded me of that Freddie Prinze Jr. thing where he just goes off. I'm like, that's like it just reminded me of that, because it's like, because people select. They're like, no, this is what I like of Star Wars.
Yeah, the original trilogy is Star Wars to a lot of people. And while I kind of respect it, at the same time, I'm like, you don't have to comment then.
Sure.
The original trilogy is still there. You are welcome to watch it at any time, and you don't have to consume the rest of the content. Nobody's forcing you to.
And you can also read the extended universe books, the legacy stuff. Like, there's some great stuff in there. It may not be
the Legends
canon
is still
anymore.
there.
The Legends are still there. The if it hurts you, like it hurts me sometimes to think about, that's no longer canon. That I understand, because you're like, okay, what's canon, what's not canon. And
that hurt. That's hard. Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough.
Getting rid of like characters like Mara Jade and the Solo twins, and I mean, even though they had 3 kids, but the Solo twins to me are the more important of the two. The more important of the 3 kids that they had. Yeah, those are hard characters to let go of.
One of the rumors, and this is not a spoiler for Book of Boba Fett because this was people just fan speculating, who were just fan speculating. One of the fan speculations was that Kyle Katarn shows up, and Kyle Katarn and Mara Jade get thrown around a lot because they're around this time frame, so they get thrown around a lot. If they show up, it's gonna be great, but let it happen. I want Mara Jade to show up so bad because I feel like
I would really love Kyle Katarn. I have a very deep gaming history with Dark Forces. I'm not saying I remember all of it, but that's my youth. Yeah, right there. Yeah. That was my first experience with online gaming. Was
Dark Forces 2,
Dark Forces 2, and lightsaber battling people that. That was it. Yeah. It's nuts to think. I would love a Kyle Katarn, just even if it's just a nod, even if it's not anything. Same thing with I can't think of his name from Shadows of the Empire.
Starkiller.
That was the name.
Oh, sorry, Shadows of the Empire. Sorry. I was thinking of Force Unleashed.
You're thinking Starkiller Base.
What is his name?
Zyzer was the bad guy, whose name I always remember, and
I forgot that. I love Shadows of the Empire. While he's looking that up, that was one of the coolest times. And
Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar.
Come on.
Yeah, Han Solo-esque. We can't use Han Solo, so let's create another character with a very similar ship. Oh yeah, I ate that up.
From Corellia, has a ship that looks exactly like the Millennium Falcon cut in half.
This one rotates.
Shameless, just shameless. Don't care.
But it was so good. No, that was a game I would love. We're getting Knights of the Old Republic remake. Great. Remake some Shadows.
Can we even just get it ported? Can we just get
with quality of life?
With
quality of life
games
updates
that we're playing this week, but we're getting more Star Wars old school, just ports with the Force Unleashed, which I just bought.
Yeah,
I bought the original Xbox discs for Force Unleashed 1 and 2 because they're back compat on Xbox, but I'm totally going to buy the Force Unleashed on the Switch now.
Yeah, I thought I had the video for it. Apparently I didn't have the video queued up. That was a really cool, I mean, it wasn't a surprise thing, but I was really happy, more Star Wars on the Switch. Yeah, I was really hoping they would announce both Unleashed 1 and 2, because I feel I don't know why it's going to have, if Force Unleashed 1 gets released, why don't you create that as a collection? Because that's another thing that they brought up was the collections that they brought up. Portal collection, Ezio collection. And
I really liked how they set that up with just collections that they're acknowledging what part of the Switch brand is that you're now able to play these games on the go. I wonder if the thing with Force Unleashed 2, because they have Jedi Knight 2 and so they have Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy on Switch, and I've been wondering why they don't have Dark Forces 1 and 2 on there. That I haven't been able to figure out, and so it could be something similar, but hopefully if you're going to do Force Unleashed 1, hopefully Force Unleashed 2 also comes.
Yeah, were they on console? I don't remember Dark Forces 2 being on console. I played them on PC.
No, those were PC games.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is, where they're it's going to take more work to get a good controller mapping for that, but at the same time, we have Jedi Academy, which is basically Jedi Knight 2's third person. So, no, I like that aspect, and I think Switch is steering into. Xbox is doing it, of course, in their way, but Switch is Nintendo's doing their own thing of hey, here are some games that you may or may not have played. Now you can play them here on the Switch, on the go. I like that because I think they realize that aspect of the Switch. It's not a next-gen console, but it works. It works for a lot of these games.
It works for a lot of things. I just finished Arceus, which worked on the Switch, and I loved it. It's a great game. Play it. If you're the Pokemon fan like me, who was ready to abandon Pokemon, especially lately after Sword and Shield play it. It's fantastic. It is ugly at times, and that is definitely there, but I don't care. I put 33 hours into this game in a week.
Wow.
And that I said that to my wife. She said the same thing. She's like, okay.
Yeah.
And granted, again, I've been going through some personal stuff, and that was the other thing, is that this was a little shot in the arm for me, but there's something about the Switch, man, where as much as we talked about PlayStation 5 and Xbox at the beginning of the generation, how I wasn't playing on anything on Switch, and I think you said the same thing, because we were just enjoying our next gen consoles. There were times where she would come home from work, right? My son is playing on his iPad, playing a little whatever toddler game that he downloaded, which he's figured out how to download all his own games, because they come out of the womb. Yeah. They come out of the womb knowing how to use a tablet these days. And then I'm sitting there on my Switch, and she's just like, and there's something safe. Like, again, Pokemon's a very clean game, but there's something safe about playing on these handheld systems where he can look over and I can quickly pause or turn it off if there's something bad. Otherwise, he'd be like, hey Dad, what you playing? I'm like, I'm playing some Pokemon. He's like, oh, I'm playing some blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then we just go back to doing whatever we're doing. Like, there's these little wholesome moments that I had while playing Pokemon this last week. So beat that. That's great. And then I immediately launched into, because Horizon's coming out soon, and I didn't want to get into anything that I couldn't get rid of. I started playing Ocarina of Time on my 2DS that I picked up. Started playing a little bit of that as well, but just this handheld thing is just easy. And this Direct showing, we'll bring you some new games, we'll bring you some old games, we're gonna, what do you want? We'll figure out how to make it run, was what I'm getting at a lot of this.
I agree.
I don't know if you want to talk about, they're putting No Man's Sky on the Switch.
That was really, so we're gonna bounce around a little bit. Apologies here, but No Man's Sky on the Switch.
That's the biggest shock in the world to me. Literally, I'm like, it's got to be streaming, right? It's not streaming. I don't.
That's
know
what I didn't understand.
Make this game run.
I don't. So that's my note in there, was was basically like that. Like, how much of this is going to be cloud based? How much is it going to be streaming? Is it going to utilize that? And apparently, it's not
required.
Yeah, I was waiting for that requirement, and then they had that in I forgot which I think I actually put it in the notes. They didn't note it in that game, but they noted that same thing for. I thought I noted it. Cloud based. Yeah, I did. Kingdom Hearts. So Kingdom Hearts needs to be cloud based. Kingdom Hearts needs to be cloud based, but No Man's Sky isn't. Yeah. What is this? What is?
I have to see how this game runs. To be very clear, No Man's Sky is a dope game at this point. They put years of work making this a fantastic game. It's available on Game Pass. I bought a copy at GameStop on PlayStation for $10 because they do free updates. None of their expansions, still to this day, not a single one of their expansions has cost money, and I respect the crap out of them for that, because they could absolutely be charging at this point for the amount of work that they put into it. There's no way this game runs, right? How is this game going to run on Switch? Like, you're showing video. If you're watching the video version of this right now, is this on Switch? Because it doesn't look terrible.
It doesn't look terrible.
But I don't believe it.
This is from their presentation. I made sure to grab it. This is from their presentation.
I absolutely don't believe it. I don't.
It's too smooth.
There's nothing about it that makes me believe that this is how the game is going to function.
Is there going to be are there going to be loading screens?
Too many assets.
There's too many assets, and it's like the transition right there. The transition, we're still going. Like, unless they carefully edited. Yeah. I was thinking like maybe they carefully edited, because the assets are just
there's hundreds
immense. Yeah. Well, I was thinking like maybe there's some careful editing in here where they've added a bunch of load screens. Maybe that's what's somehow making it work. But after watching this trailer, I realized I don't think Whitney's played this game, and I think it may be chill for her. Like I don't
You have
think
Game
it's
Pass, right? You should let her check it out.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna let it check it out because like I think it'd be something that would be fun and chill. It's not
if
too
this game gets
difficult.
even like 7 reviews on Switch, I'm probably gonna buy it. No lie. Even though I own it on PlayStation, like this game is ultimate chill mode. For those of you who haven't checked out No Man's Sky, so I checked it out when it first released and put 40 hours into it easy.
That's right.
And that was when it was barren. That was when it was like nothing. And it's been expanded upon significantly. If it even runs half as good as it looks in this trailer, I'm probably gonna buy it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it because but I definitely gonna have to see if the wife wants to jump in. I am gonna surprising in here though. I think I'm gonna buy Advanced Wars 1-2 Reboot Camp.
Oh, yeah.
Which I didn't expect.
Is this not the direct of the tactical, like not just the JRPG, but the tactical RPG going strong in this direct, bro? Front Mission, Advance Wars.
It was really surprising to me, but what I liked about this one in particular, because like there great stuff in this direct. If you like JRPGs, if you like tactical RPGs, that they totally like spell out the quality of life upgrades that they threw in here, like. Basically saying like you can reset and retry. You can adjust your speed, so you can speed it up. You can replay. Like if you made a mistake and go, you know what, undo. You can do that. Like and those types of quality of life updates.
Like if you go back and play like Final Fantasy Tactics, for example, and you just like
that was brutal.
An hour-long battle, and you just mess up, and you got to play that whole dang battle again.
That was brutal, yeah. So like I love that. That was what sold me on this. I was like, this looks
cute.
It looks cute. I appreciated okay, we got voice acting in this now. It didn't have voice acting before. Cool. I appreciate the strategy and the tactical aspect. But as soon as they said that they had that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to feel like I'm wasting my time. So yeah, I think I'm gonna grab it.
Literally, my only problem with it is that it's $60.
Yeah. I mean, I get that it's 2 games,
look for
but
Walmart to get the $50 to see if I can pick up a copy of it on discount. But I was just like, these are GBA games, and granted, they're great GBA games, and they've improved on them. They put a map maker in there, which I'm never going to use. I just want to play the campaign. Yeah. That's how I am with tactical RPGs anyway. I have no creativity whatsoever. So this part that we're like showing on video right now, you making your own thing, I'm never going to do that. But this game looks heckin' cute. I didn't play it on GPA, and I just have a problem with this being like a straight GBA port for $60. That's a little rough for me.
Yeah, I'd say $30. Like $20. I mean, $20 is a steal. $30 is reasonable.
And so it'll probably be a thing where I buy it like at Walmart. And the problem is it comes out in April, and so we'll see where I'm at. I have still Final Fantasy Origins next month and Kirby. So there's
Speaking of Kirby, I'm almost saying I'm gonna bounce over to Kirby by the way, because
dude.
I mean, I was already gonna play this game, right? I was already gonna play this game, but it's cute on cute, but also, and this is something that Kirby already had, but the use of him absorbing the different and then them getting different attributes, because I love it.
The car is so ridiculous.
Yeah. This just makes me smile. This makes me smile.
I wish there was some pre-order bonuses. I still want to wait for a review just to see how much it runs or how well it runs, because I'm still a little bitter about Kirby Star Allies. But this is gonna be probably a day one.
March 25th. Man,
it looks great. It's hard because Final Fantasy Origins I think comes out the week before. Yep. And I'm gonna be playing that. It's a rough spring.
That comes out, and Elden Ring comes out like within a couple weeks of each other. Elden Ring's a week and a half from now.
Where are you on like Elden Ring and Horizon? Is it going to be like me playing Horizon and you playing Elden Ring? Is that what's going on?
Basically.
Because did you pre-order Horizon? Or are you waiting on that? Because
so I didn't pre-order.
I can see you waiting for the discount.
Yeah, I was thinking about waiting for the discount because I'm going to be playing Elden Ring. I'm going to play Horizon. By the way, if you are getting, unless you really want a physical copy of Horizon, they're doing the upgrade.
PS4 version.
Yeah, PS4 version upgrade, so you can get the digital PS4 version, free upgrade to PS5, or it basically is the PS4 PS5 version, smart delivery as it were, but it's not. So if you buy the physical edition of the PS4, it doesn't apparently do that. So don't do that unless you really want that disc. Did you pre-order the disc though?
I pre-ordered the PS5 Steelbook, baby.
Steelbook,
I'm the sucker. Like, don't come to me these days about editions. Like, I mean, I did get Arceus $5 cheaper because I got it from Amazon. They ran it for $55.
Yeah.
But I bought the PS5 Steelbook, and I think it's either 75 or 80. And I'm the sucker. So
yeah, you have the Steelbook. Like, I get it from a collector's standpoint. Like, unless you cared about that collection.
I have an Aloy statue up there, so I'm not a complete just non. But like, as soon as show me a Steelbook, that's the same reason I pre-ordered Final Fantasy Origins. Best Buy has a Steelbook.
Just a Steelbook. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, I have a Steelbook thing now.
Yeah. I've not gotten into Steelbooks in that way, but like I definitely like the ones that I got. I did pre-order for Best Buy for Elden Ring for the Steelbook.
And so it's not like with Final Fantasy Origins. Originally, I wasn't going to play it, and then I was like, "Oh, there's a Steelbook. Okay, let's look into this game a little bit more," because people had told me it's Souls-like and like really hard. There's an easy mode on it, and I was like, "Okay." As soon as they said that there's an easy mode, I'm in because it's Final Fantasy, so that is my jam, and so I'm not just blind pre-ordering.
And you know what?
These games that I would never ever order.
Yeah, and depending on what that is that easy mode just a toggle of difficulty, like it doesn't change anything else, like in regards to like the gameplay. Then I'll probably play it on easy mode as well. I'll probably play it on easy mode as well.
I think it might be a health or something like that thing.
Oh, I'm
where
cool. Yeah,
they just don't hit us hard.
Yeah. I'll probably do that because Elden Ring.
I just know there is a mode.
Yeah, between that and I mean Elden Ring's already coming out, and I'm playing Sifu right now. Like that was originally I was going to talk about that like kind of earlier on.
I've heard lots of great things about Sifu, dude. What do you think?
So, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, why is it not playing? Oh, sorry. This is like the beginning. I like it. It is definitely a get good. Sorry, this is like the tutorial where you play. I'll skip forward so it doesn't have any spoilers. I like it. It's definitely the parrying is what's throwing me off. Like I'm not good at the parry aspect.
This is a lot of game. This is gameplay of you.
This is me from a couple nights ago. So my gameplay, you get to see me mess up here quite a bit. The parry aspect of I tried to parry and it didn't work. Like I'm just a little slow.
And that's what just hits you in the head.
Yeah, so I just get like popped. But if you time it the right way, like you can be that total like
to go up there and block.
Yeah, like and they did a great job of like motion capturing in this, but like also the fluidity of like when you block, it looks natural. Like he just that. Like it doesn't look like all of a sudden the character for some reason like rotates and you're like, what's that all about? It looks like a natural block based on your character's location and stuff. The timing is just difficult. These are the kind of kill animations, finish him kind of animations and stuff. That's my favorite thing to do, by the way, is you sweep them and then you can hit them when they're on the ground. Partially because it does a good amount of damage and it's cool, but also because you basically are dodging anyone around you. When you do that, you basically duck. So if they're going to hit you, so that timing worked, but that one didn't.
Did you get some game overs?
I have not gotten a game. I've gotten a death, and this is what happens during a death, by the way. It's like, hey, do you want to cash out on some upgrades? I said no, and then I age slightly and continue.
It's exponential, from what I read.
Yeah, it's exponential, and if you pull off certain things, it removes the amount of deaths that you had. It doesn't de-age you. So like if you pull off some really cool stuff, whatever, I don't remember exactly how to do it, but you can reduce your death count but you're still going to be in your 30s or 40s or whatever. So like there, I die again. This was like when I first started playing, by the way. I'm not much better, but I'm a little better.
I really want to try it. I don't want to pay $40 to hate it, like, because it looks dope. But I also know that I'm gonna get super frustrated because I'm a button masher kind of guy on these kinds of things, and I don't want to parry.
Yeah, you can't do that. Like, there's there's some areas where you can, and there's some where it's like, nope. Like, you can be aggressive in a style, but depending on what they're doing and coming at you with, you may not be able to do anything. You may have to parry or have to dodge.
When I see it hit that, like, whenever I see it hit like that $20 mark, I can see myself picking it up to at least like play it, because it looks like they did a great job. Yeah. I just know that I'm not going to be good at it.
Yeah, the different moves and stuff from a martial arts standpoint, I do a lot of repetitive moves, but like there's a lot of different moves that you can do, and the controls aren't too difficult. It's timing is what it is. People who like if you're a fan of fighters, people who are used to like the combos, there's a lot of combos. If you just have to remember them, unfortunately. But it's not like you have like a button to kick and a button to punch. It's like it's a light attack, heavy attack, and then just different combination stuff. So when it hits discount, definitely pick it up. It's difficult. I'm speaking of things to pick up back on that Nintendo Direct. Disney Racer, a Disney Speedstorm Racer. Free to play. Yeah. Didn't expect it to be free to play. I expected it to be Disney. I expected it to be a $60 game. So it's free to play.
I got disappointed when it became free to play. It was like, oh, okay. But I'm still gonna try it.
Well, that means that we can try it. Not, the question is, if it's free to play, is it? I'm assuming it's not freemium.
Is it pay to win?
But I hope it's not pay to win. I'm wondering if you have to unlock character pack, like you have to pay for character packs.
So literally, it was that if you rewind a second there, where they showed the Donald Duck screen, that was the part that concerned me. So the Donald Duck selection screen, where it shows him being like level 50. That was the part where I'm not sure where.
I don't think I went. Let's see if let's start it from closer to the beginning.
Okay.
For a second.
So it shows Donald Duck level 50, and that's the part that like kind of concerned me. Is like, do you have to like what do you got to do to level, and how much better is somebody going to be than you if your Donald Duck is not level 50, or your Mickey, or your Sully, or whatever? Because I would like. Give me like a Woody Racer or a Buzz Lightyear Racer, because I would obviously pick Toy Story characters, because those are my right here. So you see level 50 Donald Duck, and
he's got upgrades.
There's an upgrade button. I wonder what that costs. I would much rather pay $60 for a Disney Racer than do this kind of method where you like have to figure it out. Hopefully, because it's a Disney game, it's not terrible, because they have enough money to make it like where they want it to be addictive, as opposed to making you spend too much money.
Well, also,
it was literally that level 50 screen where I was like,
yeah, like I admit I didn't catch that. Well, what I was thinking was like, also if a kid's playing it and all these other people are just so much faster than
crushing it.
It's not going to be fun. So there has to be some aspect to that. I didn't think about that in regards to like, because it says top speed, acceleration, handling. I was looking into it more of like, I thought like, okay, maybe that's that character specifically, because they were talking about different power-ups. Like if you're Mulan, you get certain power-ups. If you're Sully, you get certain or not power-ups, but like you'll have maybe a little better handling, or everyone has their own attributes. I'm hoping it's not too much like that, because that's one thing that like I love Battlefront and Battlefront 2, but it was frustrating when I first started playing, and I don't put in that many hours, and all these other people have cool things that I can't get yet. That's frustrating. So hopefully,
but because it's free to play, I'm absolutely going to try it because, like, come on. Like, how often do you get a lot these, you know, competing kart racers? Which, even in this same direct, which I was a little surprised at, we got a Mario Kart 8 update as well with DLC, and so they showed 2 kart racers in the same direct, which I thought was questionable. But then again, I was like, well, Nintendo's like, well, we're Nintendo, so
because as soon as someone says this, like as soon as someone sees this, you know, the immediate reaction is, oh, it's a Disney Mario Kart. Like, that's kind of whatever.
That's absolutely what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. When the Sonic Racers came out, it was, oh, it's a Sega's Mario Kart. Yeah, and it's good.
Sega.
I love Sega. But we also got some Chrono Cross getting a remaster.
Let's go.
Just happiness, happy about that, and
I'm a happy guy.
and I talked about it before.
Right, do you watch Reels or TikToks?
TikToks, yeah. Happy boy.
So,
yep.
I'm happy. As soon as I instantly happy, because I knew that meant that we were getting Chrono Cross with quality of life updates.
Yep.
Which meant, and they even mentioned it specifically in the video. They were like, "No, you can turn off random battles. Like, give me it all, baby." Because I'm now waiting for a physical edition of it. You can pre-order the digital edition of it, but I'm on a Square Enix physical kick, and I'm totally gonna buy the Chrono Cross cart.
I feel like there's quality of life. Like, that's not even quality of life. That to me is just saying, it's almost removing the gatekeeping of saying, like, hey, if this particular thing isn't your thing, but you want to enjoy the story, here you go. Final Fantasy Origins one saying, here's an easy mode. Like, let's make sure we're not turning away people who would really enjoy this and really enjoy the story. Earthbound, it's another one like that. It doesn't have the quality of life upgrades, but that's one that can be frustrating if you're not into those style of games. But Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings coming out. But there was one that surprised me that they announced. I am here for Nintendo Switch Sports, though.
Hell yeah, we're here for it, dude.
I was like, yes, give me. And I love the way they presented this, because immediately I was like, sold. I'm gonna buy it. And I love,
as soon as they appear on the screen, I didn't even need them to show me the rest of it.
I knew what I was getting, and this is gonna be good. We know it's going to be good.
The family game. One of the most wholesome things that I've heard in the past few days, actually, was just this guy telling me how, to this day, every Christmas, his family comes together, right? Mom, dad, sister, his other brother, him. They bust out the Wii, and they do a Wii Sports bowling tournament.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
How wholesome is that, dude?
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't have that. I played Wii Sports, but with this Switch Sports, I was like, what if like, I don't care if my son, like, if I give him a Joy-Con and play some like tennis or something with him and he doesn't get it right now, but what if like he just enjoys swinging the Joy-Con around and like, oh, whoa, the guy hit the ball, like, what if that happens?
That might be enough. Hey, you can do pairs like this. You can do pairs with him. And if you guys win, and if you don't, it's cool. Like, because you'll be playing on a team together.
That's the total vision that hit me today watching this. I was like, this is it. This is the opportunity. Yeah. I'm buying the crap out of this game. Day one. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah. I did see someone who was like, they have tennis and badminton. Why? Because they're different. Come on, they're different. I know it's similar, but it's a different game.
It'd be nice to shuttlecock.
Yeah, exactly. I loved the two. I don't know if I have it in here where they were demonstrating like playing tennis together. Loved seeing that, and the safety preparations of like, no one, I have enough space to move around. And then even here where they're like, hey, soccer's going to be added matches later, and then golf's coming out this fall. I'm like, okay, like. It was the nicest way of them saying, like, hey, it's not ready. Like, I feel like it was the most polite way of saying, hey, please look forward to when we put this out in the fall. And I wasn't disappointed because this game like makes me so happy that I wasn't like, oh, it's not finished. I know that's basically the situation. Like, they could have waited till the fall and released it all together, but there's so much goodness here. There's so much wholesomeness here. I'm okay with it.
No,
And yeah,
everything about that. That was honestly my game of like the show.
yes,
Whenever it came down to it, because I don't have like a lot of friends that I play video games with or anything, but like I know that me and my wife can play this, and I know that as time goes on, like this is a game that doesn't age. Like you can still play Wii Sports right now if you have the Wii. And like the game holds up. Yeah, this game is going to hold up.
Yeah, and not that the Switch needed this, but I wish that they had a game like this when the Switch came out to, be its pack-in. I still think 1-2 Switch should have been the pack-in game. I really like that game, but it was not worth the full price.
People were expecting a 1-2 Switch sequel, and I wonder if this is what it turned into.
I mean, maybe.
That was some rumors that was going around the Twitterverse, was that we were going to see a 1-2 Switch sequel, and I'm wondering if like this is it. And that was the throw off.
I mean, in a way, from a spiritual standpoint, I would say possibly, because Wii Sports was definitely it was a adorable tech demo that was just great. It was perfect at what it did, and I feel like 1-2 Switch was that. Wii Switch Sports like has that feel. And yeah, I've got family memories of playing playing Wii Sports with my sisters, and it brings in people who aren't gamers. Like, they can play it, they'll enjoy it, even if they're not people who normally game. You can get, it's the classic thing. That's why the Wii sold so well, because literally, like my mother-in-law bought a Wii. So that way when the kids are over, they could play Wii, and she would play like Wii Sports and stuff with them.
Man, it's only $40.
Oh, perfect. I mean, I was going to buy it at 60, but 40 is even better.
It's $40 digital, so that means it doesn't include the leg strap, but I have the leg strap from
Ring Fit?
From Ring Fit.
Yeah, same.
So I'll probably buy it digital just so it's attached to my account. I loved it. I love seeing it. I immediately was like, yep, let's do it.
Yep, that's my game. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy a lot of this, but I will say, the golf part, I'm probably like, as soon as that comes out, I'm probably gonna be playing a ton of that, because for some reason, like Mario Golf, and like there's something about like when it's not too complex of a golf game, it's just so chill. I'm bad at golf, but it's so chill. It's so chill.
I was ready for the tennis.
Tennis is gonna be cool.
I can't
watch
wait.
them shoulders, peoples. Watch them shoulders. You don't have to.
I cannot wait for the tennis aspects. I hope me and the wife go out. I hope I can get her into it, and then I want to get my son into it as well. Just again, I hope that there's like some kind of either like easy mode, or just like we don't have to care that much, or he can just, that I can hand him the Joy-Con and he can just see what happens when he like swings it. That's what I want to happen.
Yeah.
With I'm really excited about this game. Like
Wii Sports, you could choose the difficulty of your opponent, and you could be like, I want to box the person who has like 0 stats, and then you can just crush them. So maybe you can do that. You create, obviously this is a different thing, but like you choose or create the throwaway accounts that he can, that can't keep up, and even he can win. Either way, he's gonna enjoy it. Like, if you're on the team with him, he's gonna have fun. Yeah.
Are you gonna get the Ezio collection?
I thought about it.
I don't know where. I know that your wife's thing more than you, right? The Assassin's Creed.
I loved the first Assassin's Creed, and I love the Ezio games. So I may get it because I really like those versions, but at the same time, like, I have them on console, so it's just a question of, do I want to play them
you already have it on PlayStation?
Yeah, I have. I either have them on PlayStation or Xbox. I'll have to double check. Like, I have almost every. I think I have almost every one, or I have every single one of the. Definitely have the all of those. So it's just a question of like, do I want it
for Switch?
That's not bad. That's not bad. I did like, by the way, they said it's the optimized. Was it optimized for
adding
this?
Touchscreen and stuff?
Yeah. Adding touchscreen, I'm curious where that falls in, but I like the optimized for on-screen display, because as soon as I read that, I'm like, okay, so the HUD is probably like a little bit more optimized for the Switch and the size of the Switch, because we're not 1080, and I think that probably also has to do with like with the visuals and frame rate. Like that tells me like, all right, they took a little bit. It's not a straight up port. They took a little bit of care with it. So I may get it for that reason, possibly. But say I am gonna get Xenoblade Chronicles 3 though. We were talking about this before the show. I think I'm gonna. So I this is a series.
Have you played 1 or 2?
I have not played 1 or 2. I've heard good things. I heard good things about 1. I didn't know that 2 apparently wasn't quite as good as 1. You have a little bit more.
A lot of people. I'm on the minority.
Yeah,
I hate 2. I hate 2 so much. I hate every dude. It has like a 10-hour tutorial. That it was one of those things where, and then like it's one of those things you try and like talk to about it with JRPG fans, right? I'm like, does JRPGs, bro? I'm like, sure.
Okay, like Pokemon.
This is the 2020s versus 1997.
Yep.
I've played some RPGs, and it's just there's like a little thing where like you have like a hub town into,
sure.
And they're like, okay, now you got to do this quest and go talk to this shopkeep owner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you got to talk to this shopkeep owner. Okay, no, we promised we're moving on. No, now you got to talk to this.
And each one of them is like, do you know how to pull up this in your menu?
Dude, I was so mad. It was one of the few times in an RPG where I didn't make it out of it. I was 6 hours or 4, like I think it was 5 or 6 hours in, still clearly in the tutorial. I was like, this is madness.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, like, people were complaining about the tutorial in Pokemon, and I'm like, this is nothing. I mean, it's like, I wanted to get into it, but what is that, like 40 minutes of like the tutorial for Pokemon Arceus, where where you're basically where they're teaching you how to like throw a Pokeball and whatever. It's only like 30 minutes, right? Something like that. And then you're basically in the open world for Pokemon Arceus. I want to say it's like 30 minutes.
Is great. Oh, yeah, it's so good.
That wasn't too long. That wasn't too long.
It still made you as like a thing like, yes, I know what Pokemon are. Like, there's still that moment, but it was nothing like Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield again. I quit because it was just I was so tired of it. I was like, I know how to play this game.
It can't all be Breath of the Wild.
Since I was 10 years old.
Like,
but Arceus definitely did it better. Like Arceus was like, hey, go do this real quick. Cool, you're done. Thanks.
You know how to do it. Wow, look how great you were. Yeah. It can't be like Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was great. Like, there's like, oh, you awake. Hey, open this thing.
And you don't even appreciate it at first. I've told you, right?
Man,
with Breath of the Wild, where I was like super frustrated at the beginning. I was like texting.
You were frustrated at the beginning?
Oh yeah, at Breath of the Wild, I was ready to hate that game. I was just like I wasn't clicking with it. There wasn't. I was like, what is this making me do? And then I got off the plateau. And then it was like, okay.
Oh, I was hooked in the plateau.
I just was not getting it for some reason. And there was even stuff that I missed on my first playthrough that you could do. And I figured it out in the second playthrough because I'd played through it. But I was super annoyed on the plateau for some reason, where I was just like, why is there nobody to talk to? I'm used to talking to people, and just I'm used to like having this, that one person, like one direction type of thing. Like there's that beginning of a Zelda game where you're like, you need to go talk to the tree, you need to go talk to Sharshala, you need to go talk to the elder. Like there was at least one person that you would have to go to, and it's just like, oh, here you go. I was so annoyed, And then after that, I was like, why was I annoyed? This game is perfect.
Yeah, well, because like when you roll a new game of Breath of the Wild, it's just okay. Yeah, you have to get through the plateau, but you're basically playing the game like from the get go. Like you don't have your.
That was the thing I didn't realize yet. It was the thing of that some people complain about, where they're like, this isn't a Zelda game, but it's a Zelda game, and then I was like, this is Zelda Evolved, bro. Yeah. After I got it. But I was in that same mode where I was like, I'd been playing Zelda games since I was, 7 years old.
Yeah.
And they were, like putting the model of Zelda on its head. Arceus does not completely do that. But again, they got away from the like, we need to teach you every single thing about Pokemon. They're like, no, here's how to throw a ball.
Yeah.
Okay, you're done.
Yeah, well, and this the little things like the simplification of like the one dude that you go to who's like, you want to switch out some Pokemon or like sleep or what, like as opposed to having to go to like 5 different places to go. Okay, I'm gonna drop my Pokemon here, and I'm gonna go buy potions here. It's just like, one guy.
You can.
Yeah, I loved that.
Just they streamlined. Hey, Nurse Jenny, how you doing?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
kept calling Nurse Jenny.
It's Nurse Jenny. Like, that's fine.
You don't have the PC, and the one thing that I got super annoyed with in Arceus, literally like the only thing where it was just a big annoyance, is the inventory management.
Yeah.
That you couldn't just pick up items that digitally went back to your other box or anything like that, because I don't know if you've done this yet, but my inventory gets full, and if you complete a quest that rewards an item, it says, hey, you couldn't carry that item, it's been sent back to your box. I'm like, okay, cool. Why can't I do that in the real world then?
Yeah. Or I'm trying to remember which game. Like, there's a few games of recent history that I'm thinking of where it's like you go to pick up something, and it's like, you could only fit one. Everything else is sent back. Or you go to pick up something, that's like, that you're already full. That was sent back. So your storage at your storage online, like, just do that. Like, it's like you said, it's 2022. We can do this. It doesn't break immersion. We're okay with it.
Ultimately, with this direct, there's some games that we didn't like really speak on because it's not really me and Pat's thing. Like Splatoon 3 was a big part. And Splatoon 3 is a big game for a lot of people. I was really excited to see Front Mission, even though I've never played Front Mission, but it looks like a good tactical RPG. So I'm interested. And they already mentioned that they're going to be doing Front Mission 2 as well. It's just not ready yet. The thing that I was obviously disappointed in, but this was clearly the RPG Nintendo Direct, because we got Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Earthbound, Triangle Strategy. There's this one that was released in Japan only. Something. A lot of
Live
Alive or something like that. A lot of my JRPG friends were freaking out about this because this was previously Japan only, so I'm probably going to at least look at it. Chrono Cross.
Yep.
Advance Wars, Fire Emblem Warriors, even though it's not an RPG, it's based on it. This is clearly like the RPG Direct, so that means we got no Zelda. There was no Twilight Princess, there was no Wind Waker, there was no Breath of the Wild 2. Those were all very disappointing things, because the biggest disappointment for me was Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that I hate 2. And I'm glad to see, from what I'm reading about 2 or 3, it's cool that you get dual protagonists in 3, and you get to switch between them. One's a magic user and one's like a technology user. That's a cool concept to me. So I am instantly more interested in 3 than I was initially, because again, I hate 2, and so I'll die on that hill. But it was the fact that we didn't even know 3 was in development. So 3 was in development, been in development, and it's going to launch in September of 2022. Breath of the Wild 2 has been in development for 5 years, and we've known it's been in development for almost that long, and you can't tell when it's going to come out. So that was it was like a sad thing, but I feel like the makers of this direct was like, this is an RPG direct. We got time for Zelda later. we'll throw in some things like MLB The Show and Kirby, but if you really look at this direct, it is just RPG after RPG after RPG.
Yeah, and I agree on the Zelda thing,
Hearts.
because that's also more than likely the same engine as Breath of the Wild. I don't see, like, we didn't reinvent the wheel. I don't want them to reinvent the wheel for Breath of the Wild 2, but I would expect the turnaround to have been quicker. So it's probably going to be amazing when it comes out, and like, I'm not saying rush it, but yeah, I agree. The keeping quiet on a game like this is pretty cool too, because there have been rumors about it. Apparently, I googled because I was like, did we know about this? Because I'm not a fan of the series. Did I miss it? Am I slipping? Nope. Just people speculating that it was going to be announced at some point, and they pulled a Bethesda. They're like, hey, it's coming out later this year. Look forward to it. So yeah. So Zelda.
I really enjoyed the direct though. Out of all of it, looking through this quick list, I like Advance Wars, No Man's Sky, Mario Strikers, Front Mission, Star Wars, Disney, Chrono Cross, Kirby. I'm kind of interested in Live Alive, even though I've never heard of it. Nintendo Switch Sports, Triangle Strategy. That's at least 11.
That's like that's over half the show. Yeah.
The rest of the list, it's like the thing that I was disappointed with Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings. I want to buy them. I don't want them. I don't want them to be available through the Nintendo Switch online system. Like, just let me pay you $10 for Earthbound.
Yeah, they need to switch that up with the online system. I get the subscription aspect, and then just give me the option to buy it. Like, that's what I want. Option to buy, discount if you're an online member.
Kind of like when you're looking at like Xbox Game Pass, where like obviously those games are all available to buy.
Yeah.
But like, hey, you're subscribed to Game Pass. Do you want to buy it for a cheaper rate? Yeah, here you go.
Yeah,
buy it.
Because if it goes away at some point, then yeah, I want. Or if I let my Game Pass subscription lapse, because you can do that too, then you get to keep it. So. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the Nintendo Direct.
Wait, you can let a subscription lapse? I mean, Netflix just like upped my membership to $15 a month. Are you saying that I can cancel my Netflix after 15 years of service, Patrick? Are you kidding?
You can.
I didn't know I can do that.
You can. They don't want you to, but you can.
I pressed the OK button for right now, but I'm really close.
Fine.
I'm like, I'm really on the. I looked through Netflix literally today.
Yeah.
And went through, and I was like, is there something that I want to watch within the next 2 weeks?
When you have other programs, the other streaming subscriptions.
Been watching Euphoria on HBO. That show's real good.
I've heard that was good.
It's good. It's very still up. I've been watching the show with John Cena. The DC show.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. You would love it, dude. If you haven't watched it, Peacemaker, you would. love it.
I need to watch Peacemaker.
This is a you show. Yeah. You would love this show. You would absolutely love it. So definitely check that. So you're looking like shows like that in the face. I'm like, all right.
And then Yellow Jackets on Showtime. Yellow Jackets on Showtime is supposed to be really good. Yeah, it's on my list. I haven't checked it out yet, but it's supposed to be really good. I do. I got it for Dexter because of the new Dexter that was out.
I have to like exchange something with yours, and then I got a Paramount Plus login. Just swap those logins.
We may need to borrow.
Netflix, and I was like, what do I have? And I found like 2 or 3 shows. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch. But then I'm gonna cancel. It's not gonna happen. This Netflix is definitely my longest running subscription, other than
mine
PS
too. Mine too. Well, mine went back. I had a lapse in there. I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had a lapse in there. But I mean, I had a Netflix subscription back when they sent you discs. I had a Netflix subscription and I had a Blockbuster online subscription at the same time because I didn't have cable, and they shipped me all the discs. And Blockbuster, I worked next to a Blockbuster, so I'd bring in the discs and trade them out. So you'd bring in the disc and you'd be able to trade out for a rental for free. So I was just rotating through stuff. It was great.
I can remember that was how I watched House MD originally, was through the Netflix thing that I would like, and they would send it to you like a disc or 2 at a time for House. So I'd be watching the House series through that, but it's going up to $15. And you look at like Disney Plus, and I'm like, I've watched a lot of Disney Plus and a lot of HBO in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And I've not watched a lot of Netflix.
And if you're paying that much and you're not watching, like we've got
we've
got
really
Hulu
tough to
right
hit
now.
that button.
Yeah, like we upped Hulu. We subscribed to Hulu to watch some shows, and like I want to cancel that one because it's more expensive. But we're watching shows on there, so you know, it's worth the money.
That's the thing that's been hard for me. It's because Netflix is like, and the only thing with Netflix, it's just like that hold on you. It's like, how do I cancel Netflix?
How do you cancel it
forever?
Like, forever.
There's literally a button on my. There's a button on my remote. It's a Netflix button. You just hit that button, and it opens Netflix for you. How do I cancel that? And
just
I
rip
closer
off the
and
button.
closer. Everybody, I know. Or tape over it, and be like, no,
I'm not gonna do it. Anyways, let us know what you thought about that. Do you have subscription?
Subscribe to?
What do you subscribe to that you forgot that you were subscribed to? Go look at your bank statement or your credit card and tell us which one you forgot you were subscribed to. And see you next time.